All right, everybody, welcome. Thank you very much. Nice to see you here on Saturday. It is the 1st of August, and this is week 4 of our Basics and Fundamentals, a course that you can join anytime. So glad to see everybody here. Saturday morning Pacific Coast time. Sometimes we have people from all over the world here, so people will probably dribble in as we move on. I just wanted to remind you of what we did before. In week 3, we explored our body's natural ability to stay balanced while we did things like throwing balls. We're going to review that a little bit today. And we really attended to that movement in a lot of detail. And then as we attended to that movement, we then started thinking about what if we slowed that down and what were some of the coordinations and the shifts in balance that we were seeing, all of which was is really important to Tai Chi. Very fundamental because, as I said before, in Tai Chi, it is a martial art, and a lot of Tai Chi is based on generating power by body position, and then literally throwing a limb. Even though we don't do that, we do it slowly most of the time. It is something that is part of what it is. So we get insight into the basics and fundamentals by looking at things like that. We also observed about large and extended circles. We'll do more of that today. And saw how those circles both put us in a good position to be powerful and also kept us safe, especially in the shoulder area. So that was, we'll be doing more of that today as well. And today we're also going to be looking at coordinating the upper and lower body. Again, we started a little bit of that before, and we're going to be going into more on the hand position. So today is a continuation of last time, and as promised, we're going to deal with brush, knee, and push. This is a really lovely move. It occurs many times in the form, and we're going to do it on both sides, get you familiar with that. We're going to be concentrating on that this week and next week. And you can see all these fundamentals right there in brush, knee, and push. I promised you that we would start out, so we're going to start out in a chair. So if you can pull a chair out this morning, a nice firm chair where you can actually sit and have your body erect and balanced, but sitting. Have your lower body be quite heavy, really in the chair. Feel comfortable, feel relaxed. You can still have that lower back relaxed. You shouldn't be like, just really relaxed. Feel your feet. And then imagine your spine connected. We're going to do this standing up shortly, but imagine your spine connected, gently being pulled up. And now what I'd like you to do is let's explore a little bit, just while we've got this bottom part of us secure, let's explore a little bit how this upper body moves when it's truly secure. This is something you can do anytime. Been doing a lot of desk work. Just keep right ahead and take a few minutes to do that. Feel yourself in the chair, feel your feet grounded, put some roots in there. And then if you can just turn your shoulders really gently. Again, the more firmly your body feels in the chair, just back and forth. Feel that body firmly in the chair, feel yourself extended. Notice that, some of you are going to have a lot of flexibility. A former dancer walked into one of my classes and I was just stunned by the flexibility, in awe, really, of it. Some will have less, but explore that. What do you really have? How far do your shoulders go? Just a gentle, remember that 70% rule? Don't push it, but feel a gentle stretch with your shoulders. Again, you can do this anytime. Now, I want you to come to center, and I want your shoulders to stay in line with your center. And I want you to imagine right out of the center, kind of your belly button, you've got a marker. And I want you to draw with that marker by just turning. Most of us have less flexibility here. Turn that marker. My cat wants to be up here too. Turn that marker. Yeah, you're not coming up right now. Turn that marker. And then turn them both. You can turn the marker, and then you can notice that you get a little more of a stretch. That actually you can turn from the marker and get a little more of a stretch as you turn your shoulders. So when I said don't turn your shoulders before, of course your shoulders moves with your body, but you can also twist your back gently as you did in the beginning. So you're turning from your center, but you're also giving a little bit of a twist in your shoulders. And explore again how far you can go. Know your own limits. Because in some of the moves that we're going to do, somebody will tell you in Tai Chi, oh, it's to the corner. But your body may or may not go to the corner. Your torso. Over time, if you do this kind of thing, and if you keep your body heavy, your lower back relaxed, and your torso integrated, you will, in fact, be able to expand that boundary over time and keep yourself safe. So try it. Let's do that standing up. Let's get in our regular sort of starting warm-up position. And maybe I'll take my mask off for this. I wear it all day long. There we go. So feet are parallel. You're feeling rooted, heavy. Those feet are really, the entire foot is plastered on the bottom of your shoe. If you can, feel that it is plastered onto the bottom of the floor with roots growing out of it. Oftentimes when we do that, we sort of screw our, I love that Rita says this, kind of screw those legs into the floor. Just feel a little bit of this going on. Just a little bit. And then make sure you haven't tightened up those glutes, relax that. Your feet are still very firmly anchored, but you've relaxed this area. Your knees are relaxed. Your lower back is relaxed. Your tailbone is just dropping. You're getting heavier and heavier and heavier. And then from the very top of your head, I want you to feel as if out of the clouds comes this beautiful golden cord. It attaches to the very, very peak of your spine, up in your head, and gently, gently gives you the ability to just be pulled up a little bit. Takes whatever extra weight was in your upper body and just holds it for you, giving you extended room in your each vertebra. Your lower back is still relaxed. And then we're going to do our opening move. Remember, we're going to feel as if there's warm water or air or energy which comes in across our upper back, turns our arms, and then some helium in it. It rises, our shoulder blades are down, and we push down. And back. And from the center of our back, up. And as we get to shoulder height, we're going to release in the upper arms first, then droop those elbows, then the hands, and push down. When you can't push anymore, you stop, you come back, and again. And one more time. Then I want you to move your arms like you're carrying a bag of apples. Feel it's not a super heavy bag, but it's big. And it gets lighter as we come up. In fact, it's not a bag of apples anymore. We're just the beginnings of a circle. And we're gonna open and sort of push out. And I watch, and then we're gonna come back. Notice how my elbows droop, my shoulders are down. Pushing out. See how my elbows don't really move? How am I opening? I'm opening much like we observed in our lower body. I'm opening in the sort of shoulder crease from a smaller East Coast tree to a bigger West Coast tree, except now I'm pushing out. If I close those shoulders, look where I am. Open, close, open. We're not opening far. Close. Open and don't push out. Big West Coast tree. Close all the way. Open and push out. And turn. Part way, all the way. How about this? We did this last time. Let those elbows kind of stay there, just drop. Remember that? And up. And drop. And up. And swing. To push. And back. And swing. And back. And swing. Notice my circle. We talked about the circle last time. Do you remember that? Not here. Here. Optical illusion from if I was standing in the corner, it looks like my arm's swinging back. Let them go. Let them really swing. Looks like they're swinging back. They're swinging out into that big tree position. Change which hand is in front. And let's bring our hands down and relax. Arms down and relax a little. Shake it out. Got our upper bodies warmed up here a little bit. Right? So we can stand again. Up. I think I've got my My up-down just not quite right for this shirt today. And then we can, again, we can turn our shoulders, but leave our hips. Leave our hips as we do that. And then we can go from our belly button. I can't go as far from my belly button. Keeping the lower body heavy. If the lower body is heavy and firmly rooted, the upper body can be supple and move really easily. So I want you to shake it out, continue doing whatever you want to do, and I want to just show you something Kelly taught me, which is really, really wonderful. All right, so this is a slinky. And this is what Kelly says about this. Kelly says, what we want is for our upper body to be able to do all these wonderful things. And as it does all these wonderful things, look how that lower body stays rooted. But if we put all the energy and tension higher up, even just some of it higher up, and then we start moving it around, you see how the lower body starts like not having its root anymore? So she has a better, my slinky's great for stairs because it's really, really big. If you want to know how to get one, I'll let you know. But it's a little big for this exercise because you have to put more of it up top. But it is wonderful for showing that, see how stable that is at the bottom? That's what we want. And when we start looking at the upper body and what we're doing at the upper body, it's easy to get tense in the upper body. So all the time, let's get our arms up again. All the time, we want to feel rooted. And then as we move, we did this last time, I believe. As we move, we can be really easygoing about it. Just relax into this movement. So you imagine you're going over a big oval, right? Sort of a squished ball here. And we could actually come out to our big tree position, and then we could actually turn our shoulders and our belly button towards the side and come out to our big tree and turn our shoulders to the side and out to our big tree, turning our shoulders to the side. Again, you can do this in your chair. Easier if you think about your feet if you can. Don't worry about getting the arms exactly right. Think about your feet. Root them. Maybe as you turn to the right, you feel that left foot a little more. Maybe as you turn the other way, you feel your other foot a little more. Think about that. Think about that. You're not really shifting your weight, but you are keeping track of that. Always extended, always light, even as you're doing this. Coming out and coming down. All right, how are we doing? Any questions? I see some thumbs up. Great. All right. All right, so what I want to do now is I want to review for us. Actually, before I do that, I want to talk about our hands a little bit. We're going to talk about this more next week. So I'm going to come close so you can see my hands. And this is a nice sort of Tai Chi hand position, a basic one. There are several. but well, there's a few. Actually, it recurs. This is the main one, right? It has what's called a tiger's mouth right here. And it's a tiger's mouth because the tiger's always hungry, and it's a martial art, and we're gonna like grab and pull. So there we are. That's that. Or we're gonna connect and grab, right? We're gonna be connecting with people. So this is the tiger's mouth, called the tiger's mouth. And you'll notice that there's space between my fingers, and you'll notice that it's sort of curved. How do we get into that position? Now, if you have arthritis in your hands, I want you to be really careful. And again, always work within your own 70% zone. But if your hands are good, then you won't have to worry about this exercise at all. So there's a couple of ways to find this position. One of the ways is that you take your hands and you just really extend them out, again, to the limits of what you can do. You really extend them out, right? And then you relax gently. You just relax and see where they go. Some people's hands will do this, some others, but a lot of people's hands will go right into this position. So extend them out and then relax, just so they're not overextended. Now I want you to extend them out, and instead of relaxing them completely, I want you to relax them, I don't know, 50% of the way or something, or 70% of the way. So you still are conscious of them. Do you notice how you have that natural spacing? Extend, and then relax just a little bit. And usually this is what happens. You get that. And when we're here, this is that position. When we're feeling our circle, remember, I haven't mentioned that really today, but very important, remember that you have this inner circle where this area right here of your body is recessed. And there's this unity between almost like electricity that could go across this gap between your fingers. That connects everything on that circle. Two circles, one across your back and one inside. And what you want to do is get those two circles to be one circle with your elbows drooping, your shoulders drooping. All right? Very important. All right. Now what I want to do today is go back here. Remember, let's throw a ball a little bit. We did that before. We threw our balls and we noticed, remember, we noticed things. We noticed a gathering of ourselves, a getting ourselves in one place. We noticed that as we went back with some parts of our body, another part of our body went forward. And we noticed this upper body turn we've been working on, right? We noticed that as we threw that ball, our upper body turned as we threw that ball. Turned forward, went to the side, and then it turned forward. And if you do the slow motion tapes, if you watch them and you watch coaches, I just want to remind you of all this. They will remind you of that body turn. They may talk about it as being your shoulders, but it's your whole body. One of the reasons to remember that is they will also talk about preventing injuries by making sure that this big tree, this big circle that you never break, is never broken in that. They'll talk about how a pitcher, if their arm gets too far back and they open the shoulder, is going to damage the shoulder. Same thing for a football player. So you can watch some slow motion, you can figure that out. That's what we do too, we keep this circle. So that's the reminder of that stuff. I promised you today that what we would do is brush, knee, and push. I want to go through those movements as arm movements that are going to be coordinated. So we did this before. Remember that? Push. I want to just do a whole bunch of arm movements and have you notice some of these relationships now. So, and we also came down here. We had our bag of apples, right, today? All right. So I like to call this one, just for when we're beginning, sort of read a book. You know, like if you look down, you could have the recipe in your hand, or you know, that you could be looking at your notes, you know, read your notes, right? So this is read your notes. It's going to be my code for today of read your notes. Notice that my elbows continue to be in this shape, right? Even when I'm reading my notes, right? Bag of apples, read my notes, right? Little bit, something under my arm here, something under my armpit. So I'm not like this, read my notes, right? I'm expanded, got that nice circle. All right, read your notes. And we talked about, let's bring our hands up. And now let's push out. We did some of that earlier, right? We did a push out. Next week, we're going to talk about the difference between like a push and a strike and some of these other hand shapes. For now, just think of it as a push, right? We could have one up. We could have one down, right? One up, one down. Notice we've still got that curve going on, right? Look at that. That curve is still there. One up, one down. And you could swap them, right? Notice also we can turn our forearms. That's what we have to do to read a book, right? We can turn the forearm to read a book. So let's go through some of that together, all right? So I want you to push out. We're going to do it on both sides, push out. And I want you to push down. And then I want this hand to rise. I want this hand to rise about halfway. And then leave that elbow where it is, turn that forearm, and read your notes. Let's try that on the other side. Push out, push down, up halfway, turn and read your notes. And let's do it again on the other side. Up, read your notes. Down. Let's start here. Up, read your notes. Now, remember, we swung our arm out into that tree position, right? Swung our arm out into that tree position. So from here, oh, I want to show you one other thing first. There we go. Let's try this. Up, read your notes. Come over, cover. Cover. See how that's right in front of my body? It kind of looks like this, doesn't it? Let's try that. Up, read your notes, think of coming over. Only when we come over, I want your arm to go out. I want it to go out in that, drop your elbow. Remember that? This one? That's what you're doing. This one. So try it again. Up, read your notes, and swing, push down. On the other side, up, whoop, this is out, sorry. Up, read your notes. This one's gonna push down, the upper one's gonna push down. And when it does, you can almost imagine it pushing the other one to swing. All right. That's where you're going to go. Then here's another one. Then we're going to polish the table with this hand. And when we do, we're going to bring this hand in. Easy peasy. Polish the table and your hand in. Then we're going to push that hand that's at your shoulder out and bring our other arm down. Now we're going to add a waist turn here. We're going to come up on the other side. No turn yet. Read your notes. And then swing this arm and push down as you turn. Looks like your arm is going back. It is, but actually it's going to the side. You just like you just did, right? Just turn. And then polish the table and just bring this hand in. This hand is at your shoulder. At your shoulder. There you go. And then push out and come down. To get this, you can do this. Swing, up, swing, up, swing, up, swing, up. It's a natural move. It's related to this one, right? So swing up. All right, let's try it again. And we come up halfway. This is mental and physical work. Gonna read our notes. Then we're gonna swing, push, turn, polish the table, and here's that up part of the swing right here to our shoulder, Get this upper hand to our shoulder. There you go. And then turn your body, and when you do, let your body turn, push that upper arm out and the lower arm down. You're only going to go to center, but that's what's going to happen. Let's do it on the other side. Up and read your notes. You're not actually going to look down, but that's the position. Turn your upper body, and when you do, that's when you swing. Come down, and then as you polish the table, that back hand, that side hand, comes into your shoulder. Comes into your shoulder, but you haven't really turned yet. You've turned a little bit, not much. Now, turn, and you're out. And up, and read your notes, and turn. Polish the table. That hand that was back comes to your shoulder. This is this part, you know, if you were doing something, right? And turn to the front to push your arms out. Wonderful. This is great. And one more time. Up, in, swing, push, polish the table, and this is actually going to be a strike, but for right now, we're going to think of them as pushes. All right? Now, any questions about those arm movements? If it's feeling like you're patting your head and rubbing your stomach, this is normal. But do you have any questions?
I don't know. Can you hear me, Didi?
I can hear you.
How do I keep the shoulders down, or because mine have a tendency to rise up?
You and me both. You and me both, right? Because what are you doing? You're thinking about what you're doing with these arms, right? Yeah, yeah. So if you've had physical therapy, one of the things they talk about is sort of really pulling down right from this part. They call it putting your shoulders in your pocket. And if your shoulders are in your pocket, they can't be up. But, you know, they really can't. But if you can just think of again and again and again of relaxing them, but you're doing the moves that you're not used to, right? So they're going to go up for a while, but as they go up, they're going to make this kind of thing happen and you'll be less stable. So again, you're probably less likely to do it when you're just doing this stuff. So if you practice your everyday kind of, can we swing back, you're probably not going like this, right? If you see yourself doing that, go back to that everyday movement. Swing back, you know, swing back. Actually, you don't want to turn to the end. Swing back, turn. There's a little tiny turn earlier, but, you know, swing back, forward is how that goes. Did I answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay. I want to show you now how this relates to the whole move, brush, knee, and push. And then we're going to try it. And I just want you to remember, if you haven't had this move before, number one, if you're taking the first section simultaneously, you're going to get to this move and you're going to be way far ahead by having done this. The other thing is that it's one of those moves that usually you spend 3 weeks on. So we're going to spend a lot of time on it, and you will see it again and again in the form if you're taking the form. So it's just a really lovely move. So I'm going to show you the move first. I'm going to show it to you 2 ways. So we're going to start doing it a different way, but I just want you to see it. You'll see some of these things. You'll see an arm rising up. You'll see me doing this swing. There's a step here. So this is the move. And we practiced I think last time and the time before, something like this, you know, do you remember that? Swing, step. We're kind of dancing. If I were to the corner, you see how it's an optical illusion that it's back? It's just this movement, you know, it's just, that's all it is. But swing, step. That's what we're going to put in here now. Swing, step. And we're going to put some weight shifts. Pulling all this together is a wonderful, beautiful complexity that we need to train our bodies to understand. But it's no more complex than this. It's no more complex than if you took that baseball and threw it. Your body already knows how to do it, but we're slowing it down, so it's going to be complicated for a little bit. Accept the challenge. So here we are. We've also done this, remember? We've turned out that bow step. We shifted our weight over and bent our knees. We made sure our knees were going in the line of our feet. All of our weight over here, you see how my weight has moved? Unfolding that left foot, pushing with the back foot, bending the knee of the front foot, and ending up with your weight centered and this surfboard tension between your feet. Remember that? Or earthquake tension or rocky hill tension, so you could use your bow and arrow. All right, so what we're going to do now, we also talked about coming back, remember? And coming out with that front foot, pushing with the back foot, standing, moving your weight, and letting your foot come through and reach out, and then pushing with the back foot, absorbing with the front foot, bending your knee. We worked on that last time. We also worked on last time, as we do it on the other side, we can shift a little bit this way, turn out this way, bend both knees, move our weight, unfold this foot, move forward, and then we can turn out. Remember, the knee bumps out with every turn. It always goes in the direction of the toes. It doesn't actually bump, but I want you to be conscious of it. Push, stand in the corner. Your upper body is turned. Now, as you put that foot down and start to transfer weight, you're gonna turn your upper body. Remember we did that last week? So I'm gonna tell you when to turn your upper body. So let's try this. We're gonna actually start in, we'll actually get into the bow step because that's good practice. Shifting our weight to this side a little bit, just enough to put the weight in the heel, turn out to the corner with this leg and this knee to the corner. We bend both knees. This knee's going straight. Our weight is now all the way over on this other side. We unfold this leg and move forward. That's a basic bow step. Okay? Now we're going to come back. We're going to turn. When we do, our hips really open here. A turn. Push with the back foot. Move over. Reach out. And start to move forward. Stay a little bit in the corner. And then when you bend your knee, I want you to turn your upper body. All right, we're going to put this all together. Next week, we put it together much more. All right. So we're going to shift to one side, turn out, come down, weights all on the back foot. What is our back foot now? And then, oh, I'm sorry, arms. Start, I'm going to start you in a bow stance. So let's get in that bow stance. We can get it on this other side. So we're going to shift over here, turn out over here, bend both knees, step out and move forward. Practicing bow steps, always a good thing. Push out, push down. All right. This is where we're going. Next week, we're going to really be working on this. Bend that back knee, let your weight come back a little bit, just enough to be able to turn this foot, and the right hand, this arm comes up. Then you read your notes as your foot goes out. Now, we're going to push with the back foot. We're going to swing the right arm and start to stand in the corner. The arm finishes swinging as we step. Then as we push with the new back foot, we polish the table and bring the arm into the shoulder. Our front foot is now down, but we haven't really turned our body. Eventually, when you're here, you're going to feel very powerful. Then we finish pushing with the back foot, bending the front knee and turning. That's when we're throwing this arm forward. Then we can do it on the other side, coming up. Read your notes as your foot goes out. Push with the back foot. Go stand in the corner. And one arm goes down, one arm goes back. It's actually to the side. Remember that? Push with that back foot. Polish the table. Arm comes to your to your shoulder, and brush knee and push. So if this feels overwhelming, don't worry, don't worry. Everybody does get it in the end, and it usually takes several weeks. what's really lovely is that it has everything in it. It has, it really is a preparation to throw a strike. That's what's happening here. Okay? And so if you're interested in the martial arts, that's true. But what it also has in it is it has all of these fundamentals that we've been talking about, all this body shape, all of this coordination, all of these changes. And when you have this move in your arsenal, you not only have this move, you will have all those fundamentals. So it's worth absolutely every minute. Plus, it's just a really gorgeous move. Let's try it one more time. Do it with me by, now I'm going to call out right and left. You should be able to do it with me from this position. And don't worry if you can't get it right. Get like 30% of it right. Your weight comes back a little, the left arm rises. The left foot goes out towards the corner as the left arm is notes that you're reading. Push with the back right foot. You're gonna stand and start to stand in the corner with all your weight. And your left arm swings back, your right foot steps forward. Polish the table. With your right arm, bring your left arm to your shoulder. And then push with that, finish pushing with that back leg, bend the right knee, turn the upper body. Make sure that your knees are still pointed in the right, in the direction of your toes. And then up with the right hand. Read the notes with the right hand as you turn out. Remember, your knees are kind of now going in opposite corner directions to you. Stand on that right foot and swing step with the left. Polish the table with your left hand. You haven't bent that left knee yet. Your right hand's at your right shoulder. And then turn that upper body only so that it's moved, so it throws the arms out. And your back part will be open. So this is why we worked on all that Tai Chi walking first, so that you could do this move safely. Any questions?
Question. I have a hard time, I'm used to sticking for strength training, you stick your butt out. It's hard to keep it loose. Is there any technique for that? Just bottom?
This is probably the wrong thing for your teacher to say, but I think it was like my third year or second year doing Tai Chi when all of a sudden I went, oh, that's how you keep it loose. So, yeah, I think you just check in with it. And I still have my times when I go, oh, I'm not, and I think that by imagining images, and I'll try to think between this week and next week of more images for you. Any other questions?
One more question, sorry.
Yeah.
I have a hard time when you're facing us to try to do a move. I get the hands mixed up. What's the best way to do it when you're facing us?
So for right now, the best way to do it when you're facing is to mirror me. And if you're not mirroring me, let me know and I will do less of that. Some people find, in other words, imagine that when I'm moving this hand, you're going to just move the hand on that side. That's why I try not to say left and right. Because this is a move you can do on both sides, so it really doesn't matter. But yeah, the problem is that there's things you can't see if I don't come straight at you. But it's a lot easier when I do this, right? Once you know some of the moves, because you know that this is my right hand and you can kind of do it beside me. So yeah, this is the problem, especially the problem with teaching on Zoom. So communicate. let me know, say, anytime you guys can say, can we do that in a different direction? Could we just do that again? This kind of thing will work for us. Yeah. Anything else? All right, well, let's end by just cooling down. So I want you to put those feet on the floor and pay attention to your shoulders and be extended up. And now notice all of that tension that you probably have in your sort of pelvic region. We've been doing a lot with that. And how do you relax that? Really, really think about relaxing that. All of it. Just spend some time there relaxing it. Experiment with that. Feel very aligned. As you do that, you may feel that your tailbone goes like this. Just goes like that, like everything just kind of came down. And then I'm just going to stand beside you for this exercise this time. Let's just do that opening move 3 times. And I'm not going to talk. Thank you guys for joining me.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Very, very welcome.
Fundamentals are great.
Thank you.